It is 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday, July 20th, 2021. We'll go ahead and call the City Council meeting of the City of New Ulm to order. Item number 1.1, consent agenda. Councilors, what are your wishes?
I'll offer a motion to approve those.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Just a brief comment, Madam President. This is probably the first time that I've noticed that the sales tax collection, the excise tax, the lodging tax collections, vehicle sales, residential building permits, the new homes, and the commercial building permits all seen significant increases from this time last year. So just a nice indicator that our economy in New Ulm is getting back to where it should be, and good, hopefully good signs ahead.
I agree, and I was seeing that a lot of places as well, so nice to see it being reflected there.
Yeah.
The car sales, I was saying, were just astounding, so that's
Yeah.
wonderful. We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2.1, public hearing on the final plat of Milford Heights 4th Edition.
Dave Schnobert, Community Development Director. Planning Commission considered this matter at their June 24th meeting and unanimously recommended approval. The owner of the property is Erickson Construction and Developing, LLC. The plat involves 2 lots that are located west of Fender Drive and south of Beinhorn Street. The properties are zoned R1. This would be a replat of those 2 existing lots. They both abut each other, and the intent of the plat is to equalize the width of those 2 lots. As currently laid out, one is a little bit wider than the other. The contractor wishes to reduce that discrepancy. The City Council previously vacated the utility easement area between the 2 lots. The lots comply with city code requirements, and there are no outstanding conditions at the present time. That would conclude the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Schnobert.
Public hearing, so
Yeah.
Anyone like to be heard?
With that, I'll offer a motion to close the public hearing and offer a resolution, waive the reading, and approve the final plat of Milford Heights 4th Edition, generally located at 637 and 641 Fender Drive.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 3.1, liquor license extension to outdoor patio for the American Legion.
Council President, councilors, before you have a liquor license extension from the New Ulm American Legion. This is something that they do pretty much annually. It's extending their patio out into the back, or extending their liquor license out behind their establishment and blocking off their section of the parking lot so they can have music and entertainment out there. It's consistent with everything we've had them do in the past. We've never had any issues with them closing off this portion of the parking lot.
I'll offer a resolution to waive the reading to approve the request from the New American Legion to extend their liquor license to a temporary outdoor patio for a music event on July 24th, 2021 from 6 to 10 p.m.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Madam President, I guess there was some discussion between myself and Mr. Hippert. It's my understanding that occasionally when these types of permit requests come before the council, there is a request to have some kind of containment so that patrons, if they were to purchase drinks within the outside area, would have to enter and exit through the establishment. I don't know what is being proposed as far as how to contain those who will be outside. That was a suggestion by Mr. Hippert, though.
So we could make that part of the motion then, to have with required in a secured area. Is that
Right.
Is that good enough for your wording?
Contained
Counselor?
area.
Okay. That's
I'm fine with that.
fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll add that to the motion. A resolution.
Yeah, I was just kind of assuming that because their diagram here just says proposed to block this area.
Yeah,
But it was,
don't know if
but
that's what they mean
we'll
or
define
not.
it then.
Anybody here for that? No.
No, they usually do block it off with some type of fencing.
Had
that
that
I'm aware
red
of.
fencing last
Yeah.
year, I think.
Yeah,
I could
they
be wrong.
do something, but when I reach out to them, I'll let them know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Motion and a second. Any more discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack,
Yes.
Counselor Schultz.
Yes.
Counselor Warmka,
Yes.
President Becker.
Yes, motion carries. Item number 3.2, on sale intoxicating and Sunday liquor licenses.
Approve the issuance of the on-sale intoxicating and Sunday liquor licenses for Inspire Bridal and Company LLC, Inspire Wedding and events at 126 North Minnesota Street, including second floor patio area for the period beginning October 1st, 2021 and ending June 30th, 2022, subject to compliance with all city and state requirements.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Yeah, I've got something. I can imagine drinking on the second floor and, watch this, dumping it over this side. Are you the two ladies that own it? What, any thoughts on how you deal with that?
Come up here though to talk.
First time, sorry.
That's okay. We're pretty relaxed here.
Your name and address for the record.
Sure, Brittany Jones, 524 Cardinal Place, Mankato, Minnesota, 56001. So yes, we have had,
Next door if you want.
yeah, we'll let her introduce herself as well.
Melissa Ostrom, 1101 Mac Lane, Newell, Minnesota, 56073.
Yeah, so we actually have heard this concern ample amount of times, and we found that we are going to make sure we're monitoring. We are going to have security on site anytime. What time were we going to? Security. So security was going to start at like 6. So we're going to make sure that if there are problems, that those are diffused before they even happen up on the rooftop. If we're going to have problems, it's probably going to happen before, even on the lower levels. So we'll make sure that we're securing that.
There's some places I've seen where they'll put a fence, arm's length in from the
Yeah.
outside, so you can't drop stuff over.
Yeah, we
You
talked
can always
about,
throw stuff over, but you can't prevent that, but. you're
yeah,
not gonna
like
drop stuff
planters
over.
even, like we talked
Or
about.
fall over, I mean, there's even that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, we talked about planters as well, just so that you can't get as
Yeah.
close as
How
you.
high is the wall now?
So that's an Eric Bodie question. So we're actually the owners of the business part of it, and
Okay.
he's the owner of the building. So he's maintaining all of like the requirements for the actual building itself.
So you're meaning code heights for,
Yes.
okay.
That's what I needed to hear.
It's being monitored. Yep.
And if that occurs, they will be asked to leave the premises. So that is a non-negotiable for us. The events, a wedding, we do expect that it is a very carefree and
Respected.
appropriate event, given the nature of a wedding. So we anticipate that won't happen, and if it does, it will be resolved promptly. So
So as long as we got you here, what are your timelines
Our first wedding is October 15th
of this year?
of this year. We're doing it.
All right,
We're doing it.
Hammer's going.
I know. No, we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be awesome. I feel.
Well, we wish you the best of luck in your
Thank
new
you.
venture, for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Melissa. We do have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4.1, summary of business conducted during board meetings and commission meetings. We'll start with Les, perhaps.
I
and
can
go ahead.
start. Couple things. We, at the chamber meeting was last week, and they solidified Oktoberfest logistics, and the bands are scheduled for downtown Oktoberfest. Crazy Days is this weekend. It's going to be bigger than last year, according to Mr. Loft, with deals in stores starting on Wednesday. Saturday will be children's games, tabletop tour, Market Strasse with over 50 vendors this year. So that's going big. EDA met also last week, and we spent a lot of time at this table talking about daycare. And you would think, what in the world is EDA doing with childcare? Well, we know there's a lot of folks that are having difficult time finding daycare to go back to work, and we need people back at work. So the EDA fully agreed to take this project on and have created a task force to help really look at this issue and see what we can do as a group to try and resolve this, or at least help with our daycare issue in our community. So we don't know exactly what we're going to do. We did have a presentation, but from the local county on daycare homes and how many have left, how many have came. We're really low, of course. We're low for foster care as well as for daycare, but most importantly for newborns. We learned that. And we also, I think, learned that the county doesn't do recruiting efforts. That's not their job or their role, which that was new to me, and I work for the county. But their job is to license and get them up and running when they come. And so they have put their training, the people that have an interest in doing daycare, they put their initial trainings online now, so people can go online and take a look at them and see what's required. We talked a little bit about the old group that was in 2016 and 17 that took a strong look at what they did, and they did increase homes by, almost a dozen, maybe not a dozen, 10 at least homes back in those couple years, and doing heavy-duty recruiting and helping with training. So I think it's an important role for EDA to look at this topic, and you're going to hear a lot more about it in the next couple of months as we start working our way on this particular project. I have one last thing very quickly, that the county, and I'm on a small committee that is working on helping with vaccines. And we're really trying to push to get our numbers up where they need to be. And they're looking for people to volunteer to be on a vaccine video. And they just called me late today, and I said, well, guess what? I got a council meeting. So somebody like the mayor, of course, some might be speaking parts, some might just be in the background as supporting the vaccine. So if you have an interest, see me after the council meeting. Could be a counselor, who knows? And so they want about 2 or 3 more people for their video. So anybody that would like to do that, see me after that. That's all I have. Thank you.
I did just want to add too that the presentation that we had did come with a survey that was just done in the last 2 weeks from the daycare providers. And it was just interesting to see how many of them are planning to be retiring in the next couple of years and things like that. So
Kinda scary.
It is scary, and it's a good thing that we are looking to address that so we can get ahead of the curveball on that.
one of the things
The
they-
Chamber's Hot Topics last Tuesday, whatever it was, by the state, said it's not a New Ulm problem.
No, not
It's a
any.
national problem.
Yep. Yeah, one of the things we learned in that little survey is how many folks said they are leaving because they don't have insurance. And they're going to get jobs in town that have insurance. Well, could the EDA create some type of consortium and help with that? I bet we can. I don't know, we'll find out. I mean, that's one of the things we'll be looking at. So,
Thank you. Any other updates on committees or commission meetings?
I sat on the small panel to discuss the Vietnam Memorial. I felt discussions were very positive, more testimony from veterans, and a little bit more of a structured foundation from the actual donor, which he will be presenting to us in a more structured manner than kind of up in the air at an upcoming meeting. And I felt it went very, very well, very positive. Input from some of the Friends of German Park have somewhat changed their tone a little bit, but it's the donor has an idea, has a concept and a plan, and is even willing to move said thing if in the future things change. So, but he will be here to present when we actually have this on our agenda, upcoming sooner than later.
Great.
So.
Good.
I've got nothing to add at this time.
Terry, anything?
Yesterday?
If you want to talk about Sunday,
Sure.
just real briefly. I mean, it is kind of a big deal for the city.
Yesterday, orchestrated by Chris,
Sunday.
Oh, yeah, today's Tuesday. Sunday, we hosted the German General Consul from Chicago, from Germany, living in Chicago, and the Honorary Consul living in Minneapolis. Took them around to several sites in New Ulm, and then they ended at Bavarian Blast. And when it was done, and this stood out to me, big Wolfgang Mosinger, he was this general counsel, he was a very big man. He put his arm around me and he said, "I can see that your German heritage is in good hands in this town." Made me feel pretty good.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
That's good. Yes, it was nice to have him as our guest. So, any other updates? We'll go ahead and move on to number 5.1, appointment to the Sister Cities Commission.
I'll offer a motion to approve the appointment of Carolyn Marty to the Sister Cities Commission to fill the unexpired term of Jan Dalka.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
She's been on before. She's very good. She takes it to heart. She and her sister and brother-in-law have hosted many Germans. She's an ideal fit for this.
Perfect. Thank you. Any more discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5.2, School Resource Officer Agreement.
Council President Betker, members of the council, I'm Dave Borker, Chief of Police. Here in front of you today, talking about the SRO, the School Resource Officer contract. In the request for council action, I'd mentioned that what we're requesting is a 3-year contract, very similar to the last language that we had. There hasn't been, the last time we really revised it was in 2015. We're not recommending any changes. Myself and Superintendent Bertrand reviewed it, really considered it a valuable resource for the community and for the district. And we're recommending approval. The program's been in existence for several years. Actually, it started in 2006. And it's even maybe some of the social concerns in some of the other areas with the school resource officer program in New Ulm, it really has a lot of support. So if there's any questions, I'm certainly available and willing to answer any questions that you would have. Also, so all the counselors would know that we have also shared this contract with the city attorney's staff, and they had reviewed it, and they had no concerns with the contractual language.
Thank you, Chief Borkert.
With that, I'll go ahead and approve the school resource officer agreement between the city of New Ulm, acting as the police department and the Independent School District 88 for a 3-year period, 2021, 2024, to manage the SRO program, and authorize the city manager to sign the contract on behalf of the city.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? I did have one question. Do you find, or have you found, that having the SRO on site does help kind of create a relationship with the students and the officers where they're more comfortable, I guess, that there's, that they're more comfortable, I guess?
President Betker, yes, we have, we don't have, necessarily a scientific survey on that, but we do feel that, them having that SRO, the school resource officer, on site, and, being able to maybe share issues that they have, when they're still smaller versus when things start exploding. It's been a really good program for that. The school resource officer tries to get around, does get around to all the schools and tries to interact with all the different age brackets, because, a 4th grader is very different from a 10th grader. But when we're going through the recruitment and appointment process for the SRO, we're really looking at individuals that have those skills. But yes, we do sincerely believe that it's very effective in that area.
Great, thank you. Motion and a second. Any more discussion?
The $70,000, I would assume that covers the cost for this position and the benefits for the school year? I would assume.
President Betker, members of the council, yes, that's correct. It's the same as that we changed it back in 2015, we had an increase to $70,000 a year. It had been 60 for quite a few years, and we took a fairly healthy jump at that time. It's, we're very comfortable with it covering basically the 9 months of service with the benefits.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any more discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Chief. Item number 5.3, Emerald Ash Borer Response Grant.
Good evening, Council President, Councilors. John Isley, planner with the City of New Ulm. I just want to provide a real brief background on this grant staff would like to apply for. First off, the city was informed of this grant, or the grant was released July 12th. The due date for the grant is August 9th, so it's an extremely fast turnaround, meaning that they're looking for cities that are in the position to apply immediately, in which we are. So this grant, we can apply for up to $100,000. There is a required 25% match. That match would be through in-kind services that the city would provide, including things like stump grinding, and then management of the compost site. This is almost exactly the same as the previous grant that we had applied for, which we feel and the state feels was very successful. We were able to remove 324 trees the last round. We'd be looking at the same amount this round, but we would be specifically focused on the area east of Broadway, between 20th North and 20th South, and the residential neighborhoods in that area. If we were able to be fully funded at $100,000 with this grant, we would be able to remove 70 to 90% of the ash that are in the boulevards in those neighborhoods.
Replanting, John?
So this grant, as the previous grant, is for removal, and we are required to replant every tree that we remove.
Good. I just,
We have to go out for bids for a contractor again, or are we able to use our previous contractor?
We will definitely have to be going out for bids for both the removal and the replanting.
and we probably won't get that good a deal again.
We probably will not get that good of a deal again, no.
Well, I know I just had a huge ash taken in my backyard full of ash borer, and I was just like, they're really attacking the old big trees, apparently.
Yeah, they're probably the most susceptible. And you can see that it's spread throughout town now. There is a lot showing up in the 10th South neighborhood and up on Summit, so it's all over.
They took a branch like this long, yay big around, and people that cut my tree down just left it for me, and there's like 5 bugs in there.
Yeah.
Just in that one little section. Sad, very sad. Well, I'm glad you're going after this. It's not they probably did that on purpose to stop people from applying or prevent some people from applying, people that are on vacation or whatever. So I'll go ahead and authorize staff to submit an application for preparing the Emerald Ash Borer Response Grant through the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources for removal of ash trees and replant with different species of trees located in boulevard areas. Thank you for doing it.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5.4, early retirement of general obligation debt issued in 2015.
Counselors, this is just kind of a little step we have to take in order to do this. Both this and the next option are just to retire some bonds early and then refund those with actually the third item after that with the new bonds that are issued this year. Just gives us the opportunity to get a lower interest rate in the current market.
Perfect.
Yep, have to do those things. I'll make a motion and offer the resolution, waive the reading authorizing the early retirement of the December 1st, 2021 through 2025 payments of the general obligation permanent improvement revolving funds bond series 2015 upon closing of the GOPIRF and refunding bonds series 2021B.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 5.5, early retirement of general obligation public utility revenue bonds issued in 2013.
So I'll offer the resolution, waive the reading, authorizing the early retirement of December 1, 2022. Is it supposed to be 2022 or 2020?
2022.
2022 through 2028 payoffs of general obligation public utility revenue bonds, Series 2013B on December 1, 2021.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz? Yes. Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 5.6, preliminary official statement of the GO PIRF and refunding bonds, Series 2021B, and GO Public Utility Revenue and Refunding Bonds, Series 2021C.
Again, this is just for the sale of bonds this year. It will cover the capital improvement projects for the streets this year, and then the refunding of both those series of bonds that you just approved. The sale is on August 17th, and those results would come before you at that August 17th meeting.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to receive and approve the draft of the preliminary offering statement regarding the $3,315,000 general obligation permanent improvement revolving fund and refunding bonds, Series 2021B, and $1,520,000 general obligation public utility revenue refunding bonds, Series 2021C.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5.7, New Ulm Fire Department to attend Lions Club Fly-In Breakfast.
I'll authorize the New Ulm Fire Department to provide the fire truck and firefighters to the Lions Club Fly-In Breakfast and allow citizens and children the opportunity to view the fire department equipment, interact with firefighters, and on Sunday, September 12th, 2021, from 7 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., and they authorized us to shower the chief with lots of water if they choose.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5.8, Fire Department donation.
I'll offer the resolution, waive the reading to accept the donation from the United Farmers Cooperative for $2,477.06.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Why the odd amount? It's got to be for something specific. Right? Nobody just reaches in their pocket and gives something with 6 cents on the end.
I was kind of wondering that too, but.
President Betker, councilors, I have no idea why it's like that. I'm assuming because it's being divided up between a lot of fire departments in southern Minnesota, so that's my best guess.
It could be just what they have left too, Terry. Don't the
Yeah,
others do that
that's-
too sometimes?
Something about not staring a gift horse in
We're
the
just real happy to have it, so.
Right.
Yes, very much so.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second.
Yep.
Any more discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
And President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 5.9, library donations and memorials.
I'll offer the resolution, waive the reading, accepting donation of memorials to the New Ulm Public Library for the period of April 3rd, 2021 to June 30th, 2021.
I think if Dave was here, he probably would want to read them, so I'll do that in his place tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
Donor was Doug and Betty Roiger, $50 cash donation. Memory of Rich Runk. Doug and Betty Roiger cash, $50 in memory of Lorraine Crystal. Sue and Mark Ullery, a $25 donation, memory of Richard Runk. And Ann Kernheim and Ann Kernheim, donation of $100 in memory of Kay Simpson. And Bernice Schmitz donated $50 for the library of things. So thank you to all of them, and the mayor will send out thank you letters.
He will.
You had a second,
Is that your
correct?
second?
And what's
You
that?
read it, but did you second?
I'll second it.
All right, perfect. We have a
Thank you.
motion and a second. Any more discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz? Yes. Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 5.10, Lions Club North Park Shelter donation.
Hello, President Betker and counselors. Tom Schmitz from the Park and Recreation Department. You have before you a unanimous recommendation from the Park and Recreation Commission out of their last meeting to accept a very generous donation from the New Ulm Lions Club to fund an open shelter in North Park near the splash pad. It will be approximately 24 feet by 38 feet. With 6 supporting perimeter posts. The project will include a concrete base pad, accessible sidewalk to the shelter, and conduit infrastructure for potential future utility installation. The shelter is designed in such a manner that it could be enclosed or partially enclosed in the future. This is our new standard shelter design where we start out small and provide an opportunity to improve the shelter in the future. Permanent signage recognizing the Lions Club will be installed on the shelter. It will then, of course, be owned and maintained by the city. North Park near the splash pad is the top priority of about 18 parks that need shelters. And construction is planned to be completed in next year, 2022. The current cost estimate, which is in your packet, is between $35,000 and $40,000 and will be fully funded by the New Ulm Lions Club. And we do have some representatives here. If they want to speak, they certainly can. Or if you have any further questions, we'll try to address those. You have in the packet the specifications and cost estimate along with the depiction of a similar shelter.
I think if they want to come and speak, they should. They've been sitting here for half an hour. This is a wonderful donation. Why don't you come up here and tell us a little bit more about it?
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, Glenn Sutterholm, 1327 North Franklin Street, New Ulm. Good to be here today and address the council. And this is something that the Lions Club has been looking at for actually a number of years. We started out maybe 20, 25 years ago wanting to maybe fund a shelter up at Nils Park. And at that point in time, the concept for a shelter from the city was a pretty extravagant shelter in my terms, probably more like up at Herman Park and that. And it was out of our league, too expensive. And so we're trying to get new members. We had a member here, Keith Richter over there. He developed a survey. We surveyed our club members here recently. And the shelter came up as something that we should have in this community. And we would like to put the Lions logo on it, of course, too. We look at it as a feature that'll help the citizens of the community in a very high active park. And it'll also get Lions awareness out there a little more and help us grow membership. So we're doing this because we want to help the city and help the members in the city, the community that use these parks extensively and get some notice out there. So we're looking for support from you to let us go ahead with this, and we appreciate all you can do for us.
How close is this to the water park?
Oh, it's right next to it, you know, it's sitting in a water park's right there.
So this will be used primarily by the splash pad folks, primarily from that group, or?
It's kind of centrally located between the splash pad, the playground, and the yard game circuit.
Oh, yeah, the yard games.
So it, North Park is 4 square blocks. 3 of the blocks have ball fields, junior baseball ball fields, and then the central restrooms and shelter building is in the center of that 4-block parcel of land. So this would be the New Ulm Northwest quadrant, which the play apparatuses are, splash pad, playground, and yard game circuit that is continuing to be developed.
So I was really expecting it. I really like the design, but you're right, I can see electricity of people wanting to bring crock pots and roaster pans. I mean, that's coming.
We did plan ahead for that, putting electricity into the splash pad. It needs to have electricity to run the solenoids there, so we do have water and electricity nearby. And we're planning on this as part of our capital improvement long-range plan, but it just moved to the top of the list because of this generous offer of donation.
And it truly is. So I really, we had the splash pad came as a wonderful donation last year or 2 years ago, and now this from the Lions. What a wonderful donation from a really wonderful group of folks that have a great club. So thank you for that.
I'll make a motion, offer the resolution and waive the reading, accepting the donated open shelter in North Park from the New Ulm Lions Club and authorize the permanent recognition signage on it. And once again, thank you guys very much for all you do.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? I just also want to say thank you. It's a big commitment, but it's going to be well used, and we do hope that it helps you guys get your name out there as well as helps the kids. So, thanks. Any more discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz? Yes. Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
And President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. Item number 5.11, Park and Rec donations.
I'll offer the resolution, waive the reading, accepting donations offered to the City of New Ulm through the Park and Rec Department as outlined. Let's see, what do we got here? We got $200 honoring in memory of Kurt and Ella Eason from Heidi Glover. $5,000 completing the 10,000 pledge from Bank Midwest from Shannon Hillesheim. Herman Heights paver stones, $200 honoring Linda Newton from Susan. Ooh, I should have looked at these. Susan Sandberg. $200 honoring Laverne and Barbara Ripley from Northfield, Minnesota. $200 honoring Perkins Restaurant. $200 honoring Otto and Marion Schenk from Otto and Marion Schenk. And thank you letters are coming from the mayor.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Director Jorgensen, please call the roll.
Counselor Mack?
Yes.
Counselor Schultz?
Yes.
Counselor Warmka?
Yes.
President Becker?
Yes, motion carries. With no additional business, today's meeting is adjourned.